That night, the same question echoed inside everyone's heart. When certain truths finally come to light, can love still survive? Or are the shadows of the past powerful enough to swallow everything? Because the silent tears falling from Merkin's eyes that night were not only the sign of a broken heart, they were also the warning of a storm that was slowly approaching. And no one realized it yet, but when that storm finally arrived, it wouldn't just change one relationship. It would change the fate of two entire families forever. Merkin couldn't sleep that night. She sat at the edge of her bed, staring into the darkness of the room. Artesh's words, the secrets he had been hiding, and the strange expression on his face kept repeating in her mind again and again. The man who once made her feel safe now seemed like a completely different person. And yet the human heart is a strange thing. Even when it's broken, it still clings to love. Merkin whispered quietly to herself, "Who are you really, Artesh? Now think about this for a moment. What would you do if you discovered that the person you love had used you as part of a plan? Would you still try to understand them? Or would you walk away forever?" Just then, Merkin's phone began to vibrate. On the screen, there was only one name. Artesh. She stared at the phone for several seconds. Her heart was racing. Should she answer? Or should she finally leave everything behind and move on? After a moment of hesitation, she answered the call. But the voice on the other end wasn't Artesh. It was deep. Cold. "Merkin, if you want to learn the truth, come alone tomorrow morning." Merkin's face froze. Who is this? There was a brief silence. Then the name was spoken. Nazir. For a moment, Merkin felt like her heart had stopped beating. Because in that instant, she realized something terrifying. She was no longer just inside a love story. She was standing in the middle of a war. And in this war, everyone had secrets. The next morning, Artesh stood in front of the large window in his office. The city was waking up, but inside him there was still darkness. Sometimes, when a person realizes their biggest mistake, it's already too late. He couldn't forget the look in Merkin's eyes the night before. At the beginning, everything had seemed simple. A revenge plan. A confrontation with the past. A chance to settle old debts. But then Merkin had entered his life. And everything changed. Artesh took a deep breath. "Maybe my biggest enemy isn't Nazir," he muttered quietly to himself. "Maybe it's my own heart." But there was something Artesh didn't know yet. At that exact moment, Merkin was on her way to meet Nazir. The meeting place was an abandoned harbor. The sea was grey. The sky was covered with heavy clouds. When Merkin stepped out of her car, the wind blew through her hair. A few meters away, she noticed a black car parked near the edge of the dock. The door opened. Nazir stepped out. He wore the same confident smile he always carried. "I knew you'd come." Merkin's voice was sharp. "What do you want?" Nazir took a few steps closer. "The truth." Merkin frowned. "I already know the truth." Nazir slowly shook his head. "No, Merkin, you only know the part Artesh told you." Merkin's heart began to race. "What do you mean?" Nazir reached into his pocket and pulled out an old envelope. He held it out to her. "Open it." Merkin looked down at the envelope. She noticed that her hands were trembling. Inside the envelope was an old photograph. The picture showed two families standing together. And in the center, a small child. Merkin looked closely at the photo. And suddenly her breath caught. Because that child was Artesh. But the people standing beside him were members of Merkin's own family. Her voice trembled. This is impossible." Nazir spoke calmly. "Sometimes the truth looks impossible." Merkin stared at him. "You're playing games with me." Nazir smiled faintly. "I wish I was." Then he added quietly, "Merkin, do you know who was really responsible for destroying Artesh's life?" Merkin felt like her heart was about to explode. "No." Nazir looked directly into her eyes. "Your family." Merkin stepped backward. It felt as if the ground had suddenly disappeared beneath her feet. And now the real question had begun. If this was true, what would Merkin do? Would she stand beside the man she loved? Or would she defend her family? And even more importantly, what would Artesh do when he finally learned the truth? Would he be able to forgive Merkan? Or would their love end before it even had the chance to begin? But there was another secret no one knew about yet. As Nazir returned to his car, he took out his phone and made a call. An older voice answered on the other side. "Is everything going according to plan?" Nazir smiled slightly. "Yes." Then he added quietly, "Soon Artesh and Merkan won't trust each other anymore." The man on the other end of the line was silent for a moment. Then he said just 2 words. "Perfect." As Nazir got into his car, he looked up at the cloudy sky. "Because the real war," he whispered, "is just beginning." But what no one realized yet was that the true enemy behind this war was still hiding in the shadows. And perhaps the biggest secret of all had not been revealed yet. Because someone from the past was about to return. And that person's arrival would change everyone's life forever. So now the question is, who is this mysterious person? Is it someone from Merkan's family? Or someone Artesh believed had been dead for years? Maybe the greatest betrayal hasn't happened yet. Because in some stories, the real enemy has been standing right in front of us from the very beginning. And that's where today's story ends. But the real mystery is only just beginning. If you enjoyed this video and want more deep analyses, predictions, and shocking twists from your favorite series, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel, Series World. Also make sure to turn on notifications so you never miss the next update. Now I want to hear your opinion. Do you think Artesh will believe Merkan when the truth finally comes out, or will this secret destroy their relationship forever? Write your thoughts in the comments below. I read your theories, and some of your predictions are even more interesting than the show itself. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video on Series World.